Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to another fascinating journey into history and science. Today, we unravel the incredible story of a man who changed the way we understand the universe, the legendary Sir Isaac Newton. From gravity to motion, from light to mathematics, Newton's discoveries shaped the world we live in today. So sit back, relax, and join me as we explore the life, struggles, and genius of one of the greatest scientists in history. Imagine a world without gravity, without the laws of motion, without the foundations of modern physics. Now imagine a single man sitting under an apple tree, questioning the universe in ways no one had before. This is the story of Isaac Newton, a lonely child who became the greatest scientist of all time. Isaac Newton was born on December 25th, 1642, in the small village of Woolsthorpe in Lincolnshire, England. His father, a wealthy but uneducated farmer, died before Newton was born. His mother, Hannah Newton, was left alone to care for a sickly premature baby, so weak that no one expected him to survive. His mother had to raise him alone, but life wasn't easy for her. She had to manage the farm and take care of her baby. At the age of 3, Newton's mother remarried and left him to be raised by his grandmother. She married a wealthy man named Barnabas Smith, but he didn't want Isaac to live with them. So Isaac was sent to live with his grandparents. Newton was a quiet and curious boy. He loved to build small machines like windmills and water clocks. While other children played, Newton spent hours watching the stars and thinking about how the world worked. This shows how creative and curious he was, even as a child. Feeling abandoned and alone, young Isaac found comfort in books and building mechanical models instead of playing with other children. This loneliness would shape him into a deeply private and obsessive thinker. Newton attended the King's School in Grantham, where he was initially an average student. He did not care much about school. A boy at school teased him and pushed him. Newton decided to take revenge, not by fighting, but by becoming the smartest student in class. From that day on, Newton worked hard. He read every book he could find. He became the best student in school. Newton loved building mechanical models and spent hours making sundials, water clocks, and even small windmills. His creativity and fascination with nature began to take shape. His mother wanted him to become a farmer like his father, but Newton had no interest in farming. Instead, he spent his time reading and building mechanical tools. In 1661, his uncle recognized his potential and convinced his mother to send him to Trinity College, Cambridge. At Cambridge University, Newton studied mathematics, physics, and astronomy. However, his professors were still teaching the old methods of Aristotle, which Newton found outdated. Instead, he spent hours reading the works of Kepler, Galileo, and Descartes. Then, something unexpected happened. In 1665, the Great Plague of London spread across England, and Cambridge University had to close. Newton returned to his childhood home in Woolsthorpe, where he spent the next 2 years in isolation. This period is known as Newton's Year of Wonders because during this time he made some of his most groundbreaking discoveries. One day, while sitting under an apple tree, Newton saw an apple fall to the ground. Most people would not think twice about it, but Newton asked a deeper question. Why does the apple fall straight down? Why doesn't it move sideways or float? This simple observation led him to develop the concept of gravity, the force that pulls objects toward the earth. He realized that the same force that made the apple fall also kept the moon in orbit around the earth and the planets in orbit around the sun. Newton kept working on this idea for years, but it would take him decades to publish his findings. During his time in Woolsthorpe, Newton also developed a new branch of mathematics, calculus. However, he didn't publish it immediately. Around the same time, the German mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz also developed calculus independently, leading to a bitter dispute over who discovered it first. Newton also formulated his 3 laws of motion, which explained how objects move. These laws became the foundation of modern physics. First law, inertia. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an external force. Second law, force and acceleration. The force acting on an object is equal to its mass multiplied by its acceleration. F equals ma. Third law, action and reaction. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. These weren't just words in a book. These laws explained everything: how a bird flies, how a cannonball moves, how planets orbit the sun. The universe was no longer a mystery. It was a machine, moving by laws that Newton had discovered. But Newton wasn't done yet. As Newton grew older, he became more than a scientist. He became a legend. But most importantly, he wrote a book, Principia Mathematica, one of the most important books in all of science. In this book, Newton shared his theories on gravity, motion, and the laws of nature. It was a book that would lay the foundation for physics as we know it today. His ideas shaped the modern world. Without Newton, we wouldn't have physics. Without Newton, we wouldn't have space travel. Without Newton, we wouldn't understand the universe the way we do today. But despite all his success, Newton remained a mystery. He never married. He rarely spoke about himself. He spent most of his time alone, thinking, calculating, solving the secrets of the universe. He had a famous rivalry with Robert Hooke, who accused Newton of stealing his ideas on gravity. He also feuded with Leibniz over calculus. He dedicated himself to reforming the nation's monetary system, introducing measures to combat counterfeiting and improve coin production. His efforts were remarkably successful, further demonstrating his practical problem-solving abilities. Newton continued his scientific pursuits during this time and was elected president of the Royal Society in 1703, the most prestigious group of scientists in England. A year later, in 1704, Newton published another major work, Optics. In this book, he explained his discoveries about light and color in detail. In 1705, he was knighted by Queen Anne, becoming Sir Isaac Newton. On March 31st, 1727, at the age of 84, Newton passed away in his sleep. His death marked the end of an extraordinary life, but his legacy was just beginning. He was buried in Westminster Abbey, an honor given only to the most important figures in British history. His influence extended beyond his own time, shaping the scientific revolution and inspiring generations of researchers. Albert Einstein, who built upon Newton's work with his theory of relativity, famously remarked that Newton's insights marked the birth of modern science. Even today, every rocket launch, every planetary mission, every scientific breakthrough traces its roots back to Newton. Sir Isaac Newton's life story is a testament to the power of curiosity and perseverance. From a small English village to the annals of scientific history, his discoveries transformed our understanding of the universe. His contributions continue to shape the world we live in, making him a true pioneer of science and human achievement. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. If you enjoyed the story of Sir Isaac Newton, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.